Hey guys, my name is Al Chacon. I'm a full-time travel content creator that's been to 100 countries. For the next 7 days, I'll be in this city. It's a city unlike any other I've ever seen before. It's a city of big contrast because nearly 40% of Hong Kong is actually protected countryside. I'm going to show you a side of Hong Kong that you may not have seen before. This is Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong.
Hong Kong feels impossible. 1 minute, you're standing in the middle of one of the most powerful financial centers on Earth, and 30 minutes later, you're hiking through a lush mountain trail overlooking the South China Sea with absolutely no sign of the city anywhere. And after 10 days here, I started realizing maybe the reason Hong Kong feels so alive is because it never forces itself to choose between those contrasts. The best introduction to Hong Kong is from above. The Peak Tram has been operating since 1888, which honestly feels insane when you're riding it because the incline is so steep it looks like the buildings are falling sideways.
So you get to the building for about $10 US and you get a pretty spectacular view of Hong Kong.
At the top, you'll find Sky Terrace 428, which is where the scale of the city finally hits you. It's the highest viewing platform in Hong Kong. Thousands of skyscrapers squeeze between mountains and water. It looks futuristic, but also beautifully natural at the same time.
And enjoying the view from up here. It's pretty spectacular to say the least.
Back down in Central, Hong Kong starts moving fast again. The metro is so efficient, safe, and clean, it'll make you question every other public transportation system you've been on.
Spare yourself the grief of the bus just passing you. Make sure to let the bus driver know that you need a ride.
The bus system is also excellent and easy to use. In fact, all you need to access any form of public transportation here is the Octopus Card, which you can get at any convenience store. You charge it up and you take it on the metro, ferries, bus, and you can even make small value retail purchases all over town. You can even buy tickets to the most popular attractions.
It makes things so much easier traveling in a major city.
And if public transportation is not your thing, as of April this year, you can use it to pay your taxi fare. And if you want a more unique transportation experience, then you need to find the central mid-levels escalators that stretch over 800 meters uphill, the longest outdoor covered escalator system in the world. You can get almost anywhere in Hong Kong faster than most people commute inside a single neighborhood back home.
800 meters and services 85,000 people daily. So yeah, that's a lot.
In Hong Kong, food is life, and it seems like you'll see people lining up at the most popular spots. It's almost a rite of passage to experience local street food here. These pan-fried buns were enjoyed by locals long before Anthony Bourdain made them famous. And after one bite, I completely understood why. Crispy on the bottom, juicy on the inside.
I take back what I said. I just tried the crab one. If you're gonna get one, get the crab one, 100% sure. Wow.
One thing I loved about Hong Kong is how deeply traditional some foods still are. Mammy Pancake is famous for its egg waffles, crispy outside, soft inside, basically the perfect walking snack.
Tastes like banana, tastes like chocolate chip. It's pretty good. I do like the dough. The dough is very interesting.
Then there's congee, which sounds simple until you realize Hong Kong has elevated rice porridge into an art form. And maybe the most surprising meal, snake soup.
Snake soup. So for some people, this is a very exotic thing. Quite delicious though.
Apparently, it's been eaten in Hong Kong for centuries and believed to warm the body during colder months. And yes, it tastes just like chicken. At night, Kowloon feels like what people think Hong Kong is before they arrive. Temple Street Night Market has existed for decades and still feels wonderfully chaotic. Fortune tellers, street food, groups gathering around tables at busy cafes.
Here you're gonna find fresh food, you're gonna find anything you want as far as souvenirs, toys, trinkets.
Hong Kong has this beautiful mix of old and new, and vibes can feel different depending which part you're in. Hong Kong might also be one of the best food cities on Earth. And not because it's fancy, but because people here genuinely enjoy and care about their food. Lady Street Sik Fan Co has some of the most comforting Cantonese dishes I ate on this trip, and one of the most photogenic spots with that Hong Kong feeling with the decor.
That just blew my mind. So good.
While Yum Yum Goose somehow made roast goose feel like fine dining.
Because you'll find it everywhere. You're gonna walk by the streets, you're gonna see hanging birds everywhere from chicken to duck to goose. This is one of those things you definitely have to try.
Every meal here feels intentional. And then there's Victoria Harbour at night. This is probably one of the most recognizable skylines on Earth, but seeing it from the water changes everything, especially on one of the traditional red-sailed junk boats.
The view is absolutely spectacular.
Because Hong Kong is positioned right in the middle of the Far East trade routes, this harbor became one of the busiest trading ports in Asia. It was a center of trade for Asia, the Americas, and Europe. This constant flow of international trade transformed Hong Kong into a global commercial financial hub and laid the foundation for the modern city itself. This was probably the moment Hong Kong felt the most cinematic to me, not just visually, but emotionally, because the city somehow feels nostalgic but futuristic at the same time. And then Hong Kong completely changes again. Dragon's Back Trail is consistently ranked as one of the best urban hikes in the world. And for good reason. You're hiking through lush green ridges overlooking beaches and islands, while one of the densest cities on Earth sits only minutes away. And that contrast never stopped feeling surreal. And after the hike, Shek Beach feels like a reward. Colorful buildings, relaxed atmosphere, people grilling food and taking in the sun. Considering the fact that merely 40 minutes away is Asia's busiest and most prominent financial hub, paradise this close feels unreal.
See, up here is the Dragon's Back Trail. It has incredible views. So you can do a lot of hiking, you can do swimming and ocean stuff, and then at night you can go to the city and enjoy a great cocktail at a Michelin star restaurant. This is one side of Hong Kong I never expected, which was nature.
The hikes here also tell stories about Hong Kong's history. Devil's Peak and Cape Collinson Battery were both military defense sites during World War II. So while you're hiking through beautiful landscapes, you're also walking through history.
And this is super cool. This pillbox, the history, just the obscureness of how to get here and what this hike actually is and the logistics to make it happen. It's pretty cool.
These old concrete military ruins from the 1930s, built by the British before World War II, now just sitting there slowly being reclaimed by nature, provide jaw-dropping contrasts. Rhino Rock was probably my favorite pure viewpoint though.
Here's that famous Instagram spot. Now, my task is to find the right angle to make that picture work as to where you're hanging off that rock, and it looks like you're just hanging off the cliff.
The fact that Hong Kong has this many insane hikes accessible by public transportation just 20 minutes away from anywhere in the city honestly still blows my mind. You can even hike in the city to Victoria Peak or Brennermer Hill.
There you go, there's the big tower right over there. That's where the tram ends. And what's really great is that circles around the entire peak over here, and then you end up in the same place you kind of started, but you only go one way. So you get great views of the city and you get some great nature at the same time.
But for the quintessential urban hike, you'll want to hit Devil's Peak for sunset, to watch the skyline light up in one of my favorite views of the city.
So the Devil's Peak hike, definitely a good one. Very quick, very easy, and for sunset, it is definitely the reason to come out here.
One of the best examples how even though Hong Kong is dense, it constantly creates pockets of calm is the newly finished 13-kilometer long promenade that outlines the edge of the water around the harbor. Take a walk or go for a run just minutes from your doorstep.
Yeah, this whole promenade is super cool, very unique. I know if I lived here, I'd probably be using this every single day.
You have Tamar Park along with the edge, the Golden Bawina Square, and more photogenic spots you'll know what to do with. And at night, Hong Kong's cocktail culture comes alive and you realize why it's become one of the best bar cities in Asia. Bar Leone was recently ranked as the best bar in the world, but somehow still feels relaxed and unpretentious.
Dirty martini, smoked olives, focaccia, and you're pretty much set to go.
Try the smoked olives with a filthy martini and the mortadella sandwich for the complete experience. Dragonfly Bar looks like a fantasy movie set with jewel-toned stained glass, gorgeous lighting, brass details, and dragonfly-inspired motifs. Iron Ferries feels hidden underground and slightly mysterious, but whimsical, like you stepped into a children's storybook with thousands of butterflies dangling above.
I cannot just sit here and tell you, you need to go to this one and you gotta go to that one, because again, it's just your taste, and you're gonna find anything you want in this town.
And Peridot gave me one of those perfect travel nights where you stop checking your phone and just exist in the moment. Hong Kong nightlife isn't just about partying, it's atmosphere, and the city genuinely knows how to create experiences. And then somehow Hong Kong changes again. The Nong Ping cable car takes you over mountains, forest, and the South China Sea towards Lantau Island.
Just be sure to try to get the crystal cable car. It's actually all glass 360 around.
And suddenly, the city feels quiet. The Tian Buddha stands over 100 feet tall and took more than a decade to complete. Nearby, Poland Monastery smells like incense and feels very calm.
Little photography tip for you is that when you're coming down the stairs in the middle of the monastery, there is a perfect frame that has been made here for a nice zoomed-in picture.
After days of active exploration, this part of Hong Kong felt grounding, like the city reminding you that there's still space to slow down. One of my favorite day trips was escaping to Lamma Island, an island with no cars and no rush.
No advance tickets needed, and you just basically wait for the ferry that departs every half hour, every hour. It just kind of depends the time of day.
Best way to see it is by arriving in the north part of the island at Yung Shou Wan Ferry Pier, take the 45-minute hike across the island, and depart on the ferry from the south at Su Kwa Wan. No skyscrapers, no traffic, just hiking trails, fishing villages, beaches, and seafood restaurants.
Lamma Island has a few beaches. This is one of them, and it's very pristine, very very nice.
The ferry ride alone is worth it. And when you finish your hike at Rainbow Seafood Restaurant, where the morning's catch is on the menu, you realize how connected Hong Kong still is to the ocean around it.
So if you want fresh seafood, definitely Lamma Island is the place to go.
I came to Hong Kong expecting skyscrapers. What I didn't expect was how balanced the city feels. You can hike mountains in the morning, eat Michelin star food for lunch, ride a ferry across the harbor at sunset, and end the night inside the best cocktail bars in the world. Hong Kong never asks you to choose between nature or city life. It allows you to embrace it all together. And maybe that's why this city stays with people long after they leave. Because underneath all the neon lights and skyscrapers, Hong Kong quietly reminds you that opposite things can exist together and still create something beautiful.
So those are some of the activities and things to see while you're here in Hong Kong. So I hope you come visit, and thanks for watching. See you next time.